Okay, first things first, I'd like to welcome all y'all to the channel who decided to tune in, waste whatever time you have of your life watching this video about football that you can probably have at a bar for free or for a couple of drinks. I just want to quickly give a rundown of the channel. My name's Bobby. Channel's name's General Sports, if you couldn't put that two together. Really, the channel's focused on football. We'll occasionally might dip the toes into basketball. I got a little knowledge. Jacob, some of you might know Rusty Buckets. Most likely you're watching this video because of him, so I appreciate it. Thanks, Jacob. We might dip the toes in basketball. Mainly, we're going to focus on football takes, talking about what's going on in the league. I got a couple of, segment ideas I think are going to be really good that I hope y'all will enjoy. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and get into the video today.
Delone fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way.
Okay. So, like most of you watched the Super Bowl last night and you're probably thinking, damn, that was fucking sad. No, most of you probably thinking, nah, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, which, in fairness, he is. There's no debate anymore. The man's the greatest quarterback. If you can get 7 Super Bowls, no. If you can have a higher percentage of making a Super Bowl than Steph Curry has of making a three-pointer, you automatically are the greatest quarterback in NFL history. There's not a debate behind it. I don't like Tom at all, personality-wise. Not really. He's not even really that bad of a guy. I'm just butthurt because my team, who's the Panthers, lost in 2000, and I believe it was 4. Regardless, I shouldn't hold grudges anymore. Man's a GOAT, regardless. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Anyone can say and suck the ass of Tom Brady on a daily basis, but that's not what we're doing today. No, today we're going to talk massive donkey shit about the Kansas City Chiefs and how the hell they fucked this up. Excuse my language also. Hopefully I bleep that out. If I don't figure it out, then that's going to be really unfortunate for my future careers if I ever get one. But we're going to talk about the Chiefs today. So looking at the Super Bowl, I think there was a lot of aspects of it the Chiefs failed on. Game plan wise, completely outplayed by what the Bucs came in. You could say a lot of things about it. I'm going to break it down by kind of the first half and then go on from there. So looking at the first half, I actually felt that at least offensively, neither team was anything crazy. Obviously, the Bucs put up a good amount of points in the first half. I think they had 21 going into this halftime. But I will say a lot of those drives that they were able to score on came because of mistakes the Chiefs defense made. Now, I will preface this with I don't agree with some of those calls. I thought that it was more of just the players being physical, especially at the top of the route. Like it's very common to see that in football. I don't think there was anything over the top that would, result in a flag. But at the same time, there's a completely different, refereeing crew. You don't know what you're going to get. And they were good enough to get called for a foul. I mean, I wouldn't have called them, but that's also my opinion on it. I'm not the one reffing the Super Bowl. So overall, it is what it is. And that doesn't even make up for the fact that the Chiefs' offense could not get anything going in the first or second half of this football game. I mean, that should speak for itself. I'm completely disappointed in what the Chiefs' game plan. And they were banged up. You had 2 offensive linemen out from injury. You had to rotate them around. It's tough. And Mahomes was hurt. I guarantee you at some point this week he's going to have surgery on that left toe. He was going to the game hurt. If you remember, he had a concussion not even like a month ago. He wasn't 100%. Still no excuse. You always have to prepare regardless of where you're at physically and mentally, but definitely not what I was expecting. Todd Bowles, if I could give Super Bowl MVP to anyone, it would be Todd Bowles. That man came in second time around with the game plan to win this game. And you're probably wondering, because you got to remember, these 2 teams played in the regular season, Week 12. and the Chiefs steamrolled this Bucs defense. And, going into it, that's why even I made a prediction. I thought that it was going to be a close game. I thought offensively both teams were going to play well. But I was just completely shocked. The form or the style that they went with this game, it was really smart. They blitzed more. They kind of did some it's like trick blitzes. So sometimes they would send the corner or a safety after Mahomes, get some speed on the edge. But then they would get their guys who drop back, whether it's it could be, I think they had Devin White, or I can't remember the other linebackers. I'm pretty sure it's Alontae Davis. I don't think it is anymore. They would drop them back. They would play zone. And most of the time, and they got really good safety help on the back end, and that was important. They made sure to double cover Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, who, I mean, statistically on paper they did good, but overall I don't think they had that much of an impact than it might seem from what the stats say. But the Bucs went in with the right game plan. They knew what to do. They put a lot of pressure on Mahomes, a lot of pressure, so much pressure that in the first half he had been pressured. I believe it was 53 or 57% of his snaps, and I believe for Brady it was 4%. So they've just had to throw that out there. I will say, on a side note, it is no coincidence that Mike Remmers was on that O-line. Now, some of you don't know anything about Mike Remmers. That son of a bitch was the, I believe, right tackle for the Carolina Panthers in the 2015 Super Bowl, and y'all know how that one went. Ironically, I haven't seen an offense get their asses whooped so badly since the 2015 Super Bowl. But I don't think it's a coincidence. That man's cursed in the Super Bowl. You just don't have him. Just move him out. He just can't do it. I don't know why. I don't know. Either way, that's dead weight. Just knock him out. In all honesty, he's not. He actually played really well this year, but and the O-line in total played out like shit. But still, I think he's cursed. I'm just gonna say it anyways. I don't give a fuck what y'all think. Well, I do, but I don't give a fuck about what his stats were. He played like shit. But yeah, so that was a huge factor in the first half, and then pretty much the whole game. I think Brady only got pressured on 4 plays in totals. On paper, that's what it said. 4 plays he got pressured. To Mahomes' 29. Mahomes scrambled a lot. I think most will say Mahomes played bad. I think Mahomes did the best he could. I think there was a lot of drop passes that could have been caught. He really almost seemed like every single play he was having to move outside the pocket and just scramble and basically run for his damn life. But even then he couldn't pull it through. He couldn't do what he needed to do. And honestly, I will say, to criticize his game, I think there was a couple times where he kind of had his eyes a little bit too much locked down field, and there was a couple of guys he could have hit for maybe not as many yards, but could have put him in a better position to actually convert on 2nd or 3rd down, or even 4th down. Give him at least, make it be like a 4th and 2 rather than it being like a 3rd and 8 or 4th and 8 or something like that. And I think he was trying a little too hard, especially when the Bucs went up by 21. He was trying so hard to force a big play, and it just was not going to happen. That was a huge downfall for it. That pretty much summed up the first half, if I'm being completely honest with you. When it comes to the second half, it pretty much the same business. The Bucs defense came out, didn't really change much defensively. They just kept dominating, and they kept doing what was working. Offensively, they really started to get rolling with it. Gronk, I like how they used Gronk and Antonio Brown in this game, and even Leonard Fournette, because I guarantee you those were not guys that the Chiefs put as much attention to because of how the other offensive weapons, the other fucking Pro Bowl offensive weapons this team already had. But either way, they were smart by doing that. Really clever. And they executed, and I said this I have a link to them in the description, the Rusty Mojo show I was on recently on last Friday before the Super Bowl while we were talking about it. And they ran dead on the game plan I said they needed to run. They ran the football well, had great clock management, did really well at, keeping Mahomes off the field. Not defensively, they did really good, and that was the other thing, having a strong defense, slowing Mahomes down, double teaming Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, run the ball, move the clock, and most importantly, out, unlike the NFC Championship game, Brady was much smarter with the ball. And I know a factor some of y'all might know from that game. Brady's, I believe, longest pass of the game was only 25 yards. And some of his passes that went farther than that really weren't even on the money. But he still, he did what he needed to do. He was smart with the football. He didn't force anything. He just let his guys play. He let his weapons do the work. That's why you got him. If you got Gronk, you got Antonio Brown, you got Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, let them do the work. Don't extend yourself and risk throwing the game away when you got all those offensive weapons. 40 goddamn 3. Take your damn time. You don't need to do anything. And he did it. He did exactly that. I'm glad. That helped him a lot. And I think for that, for me, I do feel like the defense, if you could give it to an entire side of the football, I'd give it to the Bucs defense. They played outstanding. Or Todd Bowles, I'd give it to. But one reason, and I think most people don't consider that Tom Brady actually got Super Bowl MVP, is due to his leadership. I mean, that man is a great leader, and I think that was the thing he got most credit for coming into Tampa, was his ability to lead and change the culture just straight running. Like right when he went into it, that whole place was changed, and that was a huge factor, and I think that's why they gave him Super Bowl MVP. Again, they ran the game plan right. I think they did execute everything great. I think they were lucky to have home field advantage. Ain't nothing wrong with having home field advantage. And it's a hard, and when that team is healthy, they're a hard team to beat. I give Chiefs props for doing the best they could, but it is a hard team to beat. I mean, this team has so much talent. It's no surprise they were able to go into Lambeau and beat, Aaron Rodgers. And some will even say, and again, some calls were questionable, but even in that game, in the NFC Championship game, you look at that one call, I think it was on Desmond King, that some people thought was questionable. And I get it, and I could see why it was questionable. But Rodgers had multiple opportunities, especially in the first half, to score, and he did not take advantage of it. And that's the thing, is one play ain't going to decide a football game. That teams have opportunities, throughout the game to win. I'm not going to say that, regardless if I didn't like the refs' calls in the Super Bowl, I'm not going to say that the Chiefs did, just weren't even given a chance. They had multiple opportunities on offense to go down and put points on the board, and they didn't. They didn't capitalize. They settled for 3 field goals when they actually had a chance to get down there and score. And they just couldn't get anything going on offense, and that to them was the biggest downfall. It was just great formations. Running that blitz zone for the Bucs defense was fantastic. Double teaming Tyreek and Travis Kelce safeties played great downfield. Getting pressure on Mahomes, forcing him to run, especially being smart. And there was a couple times though he had a couple jukes to him, but outside of those couple plays, the Bucs did good at not letting Mahomes fool him. Did really well at slowing him down. And it worked out. They got a second Super Bowl. Look at them go. Tampa Bay Bucks. Sons of bitches still hate them. Panthers fans still can hate them. I don't care. Falcons, Saints, and Bucks. And I actually, in fairness, I actually never hated the Bucks as much. I just don't like Brady, but he is the greatest football player. Maybe quarterback. We'll save that video for another time, because I do think there's a difference between being a great athlete and being the most accomplished athlete, So maybe we'll talk about that later. But I think that is a good way to sum up the video, because I don't want to talk about, for 20 minutes about this, because there's not much more to talk about. I mean, that's pretty much the game plan. I talked about what they thought they did right, and they did what they did, and I can't English right now, but that's okay. Regardless, I want to thank y'all for watching. I'm also going to shout out Mojo99. I'm going to have his YouTube channel link in the description. It was actually his idea to do a video about the loser of this Super Bowl. So I appreciate for that. I'm glad to have gotten that idea and to actually making a video for once. I also want to thank you. And if you enjoyed it, thank you for all who actually take the time to watch it. And if you really enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. I do, at some point, intend to make an intro video that talks a little bit more about what you're going to see on the channel and what the uploading schedule is. I'm going to do the best I can. I will preface this that I am in school full-time credits-wise, and I do work another job on top of this, but I'm going to try my best. I do enjoy this. It is actually kind of fun making this video, and I hope that you all also shout out Jacob or Rusty Buckets. My bad, I've known the dude since like the 8th grade. It'd be kind of a dick move to not mention him, but yes, I will have him down in the description. So in case you somehow didn't come from his channel, please go subscribe to him. He makes very good NBA content. You're probably going to notice kind of polar opposite content with NFL and NBA, but I think he makes great work. He really cares about it, and he puts a lot of time into it. So I think y'all should give him some dab if you haven't already. And that 47% I saw from a video he uploaded the other day that aren't subscribed, what the fuck you doing? What's up, man? It's just right there. It's a little button. You just gotta touch it. Just click it and you're good. See? It's just good content. God, so lazy nowadays. My gosh. Either way, thank y'all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.